Part 15. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 141. Otherwise, it's the other way around. You rise up. With this credit, at least you can have a share in Wei when you go to the country. But my stupid son seems to have lost his mind and is crazy now. It seems that he is going to swear to death and die on the Zhongcheng City Tower. Oh, I'm so hard. But for the Zhou family, I have to make a choice. Zhou Ba's eyes flickered, his fists clenched, his expression urgent. Master, do you want to arrange any tactics? Next to the Wei Guo army, in a relatively secret jungle, Fang Fan brought his army to prepare for an assault. Tactics? What tactics? Just move forward. Galen, Xiao He hit the front row. The Unicorn Corps and the Yellow Turban Commander Corps charge. The Demon Legion is flying in the sky. The Gothic Laser Rifle Corps can shoot at will. I only have one request, just don't stop. Maid, there are so many people. This wall of meat. Attack. Fang Fan pursed his lips, looking at the 3 layers outside the 3 layers here, a little disgusted. Following Fang Fan's order, the 4 4-star legions under his command were fully dispatched. Galen and Xiao He even rushed to the front. This commando with less than 100 people, suddenly started the battle. Suff. The sound of the laser rifle is not as loud as the traditional machine gun, and it is basically silent. The laser collides with the air, barely making a rustling sound. An enemy is attacking. The number of enemy troops is about dozens. It has already rushed towards the direction of the commander of the Chinese army. Wei Ming and Wei Sun were commanding the siege battle, and suddenly the voice of a messenger came from behind. Wei Ming was also shocked at the beginning. Could it be that there are any reinforcements in Zhongcheng? But when he heard that there were only dozens of people, his face suddenly turned black. Idiot. Just wipe out dozens of people. Such rogues can be considered an army? I think you are all so stupid, right? What the hell? Wei Ming's face was dark, and he didn't take it seriously. Just as the messenger was about to say something, he was kicked away by the guard. Boom. Stab, stab. There were shouts of killing one after another, and even Wei Ming and Wei Sun, who were in the middle army, heard a little movement. Report, report to the lord of the country. The enemy army has broken through the outer 3 layers of defense and has launched an attack on the inner line. The voice of the messenger came again. At this time, Wei Ming was angry, but he was not stupid, and he felt that something was wrong. Are you sure there are only dozens of enemy troops? Wei Sun, the king of Wei, asked with a frown. That's right, it is indeed dozens of people, already attacking this way. Report, the inner defense line has broken through. There are 2 more. Thousands of casualties of our army. Less than 3 minutes later, another messenger rushed over. My CAO. What kind of team is this? Dozens of people, killed thousands of our troops. They also beat you to a rout. Shame. Waste. Spicy chicken. Wei Ming yelled there, threatening to rush over with the escort. Wei Ming. Don't be impulsive. Yang Hong, you lead the escort to support. Wei Sun suddenly shouted at this time, he felt that something was wrong. Father. You are being too cautious. Our escort team has a total of 1,000 people. All of them are 2-star or above. Only 3-star awakened people can barely be a team leader, surely one hit will kill. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 142. Wei Ming pouted arrogantly, but in front of the army, he naturally couldn't refute his father's face, so he could only curse a few times to express his dissatisfaction. Soon, 5 minutes passed. The messenger is back again. Father, look, this time the messenger is definitely here to report the news of the complete destruction of the enemy army. I've said it before. It's just an army of dozens of people, even if it's elite, but facing our escort team, what is it? You are really confused. You don't have the spirit and determination you had when you were young. Report, the whole army of the National Guard was wiped out. Captain Yang Hong died in battle. Boom. This news is so cool. What an elite army of the Lord's Guard. How many 2-star army and even 3-star army are mixed in it? Even Yang Hong, the captain of the National Guard, is a 4-star awakened who has just been promoted. Such a combination of combat power actually wiped out the entire army. How many dozens of enemy troops? Who will believe it? This is impossible. You are lying about the military situation. How many people are there in the enemy army? How many battle losses are there now? Wei Ming got out of the car and picked up the messenger directly from the ground, killing intent in his eyes. Ling ran. No. Young country lord, what I've reported is all the truth. There are about 50 people in the enemy army, now, cough, have broken through the 2 inner defense lines, and have already killed the central army. If we don't leave, it's too late, cough. The messenger was caught in the neck, and his face suddenly turned red, and his body couldn't stop shaking. Impossible, it's absolutely impossible. How can there be such a powerful army in this world? I don't believe it. Wei Ming fell directly into self-doubt, and there were words in his mouth. Pull the young lord into the car and evacuate. Wei Sun's expression also changed, but he was obviously more sophisticated. Knowing the situation at the moment, he quickly ordered. Wei Ming was carried into the car, and the Chinese army evacuated directly. The defending army, who was fighting fiercely on Zhongcheng City, felt the reinforcements behind him retreat directly, and suddenly his face was stunned. ICAO, what's the situation? Maid, Ming Jin didn't say a word when he received his troops. It's so pitiful. Everyone, please withdraw. The flags of the lords have all run away. Grass. The reinforcements are gone. Don't fight to the death. Jump off the city wall. Run. The Chinese army withdrew, and the Weiguo army who fought fiercely at the head of the city had no intention of continuing to fight. The survivors began to retreat one after another. Only some zombie armies were still foolishly executing the orders to attack the city. At the gate of the Acropolis at the moment, Zhou Kaishan is confronting tens of thousands of rebels with hundreds of zombies. Raoji. Are you crazy? Hurry up and retreat. You don't need to go to the tower to defend the city wall, but you still come to attack the city wall. Grass. You shameless rebels. Believe it or not, labor and capital have abolished you. Zhou Kaishan's face was very ugly, and the bloody battles left him covered with blood. Zhou Kaishan. For the sake of Patriarch Zhou, we won't kill you. Get out of the way. Zhongcheng can't hold it anymore. Surrender with us now and save your life. Otherwise, you will all have to die when the Great Defense Army enters the city. You guys can't stop us. Brothers. Rush for me. Open the city gate. All the glory and wealth are ours. All out attack. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 143. The lineup of the rebel army is very strong. Zhou Kaishan took a deep breath. He knew very well that if he continued to block here, he might be hacked to death by these crazy guys. But he can't go back. Take a step back, behind you is the army of Wei. Once the army of Wei Guo entered the city, it was too late. The sound of fighting outside the city gate seems to have become more tragic. That's not right. How come no one has hit the city wall from the outside, and the Great Wei army has withdrawn? But the sound of battle outside has never been cut off. Could it be, my boss is back? Zhou Kaishan's body trembled. At this moment, he did not consider Fang Fan's ability to break through the enemy's layers of defense. He only knew that if his boss wanted to come back, no one could stop him. The Chinese army was crushed. The originally unsealable encirclement was abruptly opened from the middle. This gap is getting bigger and longer. An army of dozens of people arrived at the west gate of Zhongcheng at a sprint speed, and the Chinese army camp of the Weiguo army was forced to withdraw directly. The situation is clear. On the way forward, there is no one-shot enemy. This battle is particularly shocking. On the west city wall, a Dajan, who was covered in wounds, showed a smile. The lord of the city is back. Zhao Yaxin, who was running around with the long sword, moved the end of her hair back, her trembling arm fell unnaturally on the city, and the long sword in her hand fell without knowing it. Too tired. Too bitter. Under the absolute disadvantage of military strength, they were able to hold on for so long. It's a miracle. Internal and external troubles almost made her collapse. Lord City Lord. I'm back. City Lord Fang Fan. He's back. It's like a symbol. For all those who have held on until now, Fang Fan's return has undoubtedly injected them with a tonic. Open the gates. Fang Fan moved his hands and feet, wiped the blood stained on his face, and killed all the way, annihilating tens of thousands of enemy troops, but they were also very tired. The several legions under his command are strong, but they are in a stalemate. The consequences are unimaginable. Fortunately, these armies of Wei Guo did not have the courage to continue fighting. Fang Fan's voice penetrated the city gate, making it look majestic. The city gate was slowly opened, and there were many people inside. Fang Fan saw Zhou Kaishan bathed in blood at first sight. He was leading hundreds of zombies to guard the last line of defense with difficulty. Their enemies are not from outside, but from within. Boss. Zhou Kaishan almost burst into tears when he saw Fang Fan's first look. He is a dude. Letting a dude do so much, is it too much? It's City Lord Fang Fan who is back. My CAO. It's the devil. I heard that the Sun and Zhang families were exterminated by him at that time. What do we do now? We have chosen to be rebellious, he will not let us go. Now the devil is back, aren't we all going to die? Raoji. It's all you. It's all your fault. It's you who pushed us to be rebellious. We only need to wait another half an hour. Only half an hour is enough. Hey, Destiny returns, who made Fang Fan come back so timely? Several rebellious little clan heads and gang leaders panicked when they saw Fang Fan's appearance. The prestige left by Fang Fan's slaughter of the Sun and Zhang families before is still there. The Sun family and the Zhang family are the four major families. Compared to them, they are a piece of shit. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 144. Grass. This is the end of the matter. We can't escape. Even if Fang Fan is so powerful, what can he do? Look at him, there are only a few dozen people under his command, he can't make a difference. Even with these zombies, it is definitely not our opponent. We have tens of thousands of horses, as long as we smash them here, we can take Fang Fan's head to claim credit. Yes. That's it? Very good. Raoji's face turned cold, it's time for him, whoever wants to run, whoever wants to die. People can't be messed up. As long as people's hearts don't become chaotic, it's hard for them to have no chance to fight back. Patriarch Raoji is right. We can't be cowardly. Now is the best time to annihilate Fang Fan. If we miss this opportunity, we will all die when he returns to the city to gain a firm foothold. Haha. I really didn't know you were afraid of a chicken. He's just so small, we can drown him with a single spit. That's it? Just do it. Mad. Don't do it. It's a knife to stretch your head, and a knife to shrink your head. Done. A few small family owners and gang leaders looked at each other and made up their minds. At first, they were indeed frightened by Fang Fan's prestige, so they hesitated for a while. But it's different now. When they wake up, they feel that their military lineup is huge, and tens of thousands of people are afraid that dozens of people will fail. Fang Fan, go to hell. Brothers, attack me. Kill Fang Fan and reward 10,000 magic crystals. There are endless rewards from the King of Wei. Go. Glory, wealth, and honor are at hand, and you must not back down. Everyone secretly crossed their hearts, and there was endless killing intent in their eyes. Boss, these rebels actually took advantage of the chaos in the city to seize the city gate and bring in the bastards of Wei. It's shameless. Zhou Kaishan glared at the rebel army fiercely, and spit out a mouthful of bloody phlegm. Kaishan, you've worked hard, you and your brothers have a rest, just leave the rest to me. A murderous intent flashed in Fang Fan's eyes. If these people don't do anything, he doesn't care. Guarding the city is a voluntary responsibility, and it is normal to have fear. It's just that these people should never choose to stab in the back at such a time. This has hit the bottom line. Boss. How many men and horses did you bring back here? You actually smashed through the defense line of the Great Defense Army and rushed in. What a relief. Zhou Kaishan let out a strangely excited cry, looking very excited. Well, as far as you can see, maybe 50 people. Fang Fan replied solemnly. 50? My CAO. Boss. What are you kidding me? The rebel army has tens of thousands, no. It should be more than that now. Zhou Kaishan's eyes were so wide that he couldn't believe it. This is so, he's making a chicken feather. Boss, let's go together, we want to kill both of our brothers. Zhou Kaishan straightened his chest, bared his teeth and grinned foolishly. Fang Fan shook his head and patted Zhou Kaishan on the shoulder. No need, just watch. Take a good rest. The rebellious thing, I'll do it. Fang Fan turned around and waved. The Gothic Laser Rifle Core Volley. Devil Legion, Air Attack. Unicorn Legion, Land Charge. The Yellow Turban Commander Legion, follow me to fight. Fang Fan gave an order, and the flames of war began to burn. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 145. What about tens of thousands or more of the rebel army? The defense line of the hundreds of thousands of troops in Weiguo has broken through, so are you still afraid of these little shrimps? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, killing intent boiling. The 4 4-star legions all went to battle. Galen and Xiahe rushed to kill. This is bound to be a bloody storm. The 4 major legions are divided into several teams, directly cutting the rebellion, and then carrying out a single strangulation. The rebel army or many, but the speed of killing is also very fast. The laser bullet fired by the 4-star Gothic rifleman hit a rebel army, then penetrated the body of the rebel army, and continued to puncture. It wasn't until a dozen rebels collapsed to the ground that this beam of laser bullets seemed to stagnate. The 4-star demons flapped their huge wings and attacked from the air, and their sharp claws ripped apart everything in front of them. The brutal collision of the 4-star Unicorn Legion is enough to make these 1-star 2-star survivors and soldiers become the flesh under their iron hoofs. The 4-star Yellow Turban Commander Corps, led by Guan Hai, wields war knives. There is no suspense in this battle. Even if they sprinted from the Great Defense Army before, they were very tired, but even with a tired body, it was easy to hang and beat these rebels. The battle has been one-sided from the start. The various small family heads and small gang leaders in the rebel army panic. What a magical operation this is. Swords do not hurt. Bullets can't penetrate. Bombs don't blow up. This is so, just waiting for them to come and kill? They have more than 10,000 men and horses, but they can only be slaughtered as targets in a tragic reminder? These are gods and demons. We can't beat them. Run. I don't know who made such a roar. In a word, the remaining rebel army scattered in a hurry. Those small family heads and gang leaders are also panicking at the moment. In this contest, there is no need to continue the competition. Continue the slaughter. Massacre rebellion. The leader will die. The rest will surrender and live. Fang Fan's voice came slowly, and the scene seemed especially quiet. Zhou Kaishan supported the heavy city gate at the city gate and swallowed a mouthful of saliva subconsciously. Come and pinch me, am I dreaming? Zhou Kaishan pulled over a survivor and looked stupid. Master Zhou, I dare not. Stab. Ouch, young Master Zhou, why are you pinching me? It hurts. The survivor gritted his teeth. Hey, I know it hurts, but it's not a dream. My eldest is so awesome. Dozens of people slaughter thousands of troops. How impressive. Young Master Zhou raised his head with a complacent look on his face. Zhou Ba's family, Zhou Ba, is long overdue. Along the way, he struggled for a long time, thinking for a long time whether to stick to the end, live and die with Zhang Cheng, or choose to surrender to him. He is afraid. The army of the Wei Kingdom is coming fiercely, and if he continues to fight hard, he will be cold. According to his previous thinking, there is a high probability that he will directly choose Kaisong to surrender. Because he saw no hope of victory at all. Perhaps it was because of Zhou Kaishan's influence that he had a little illusion about Zhang Cheng for a long time. So he didn't catch up with those rebels. Hurry up and hurry up, I feel that there is no movement at the West City Gate, and Zhou Ba's expression has changed. Is everything a foregone conclusion? He didn't catch the heat when he ate shit? If this is the case, the Zhou family will be in trouble. I don't know how the Wei family will be treated after the army of the Wei Kingdom enters the city. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 146. Zhou Ba has a feeling of worrying about gains and losses. Speed up. Zhou Ba waved his hand and led the last elite of the Zhou family to charge over. When he was about to reach the West City Gate, he glanced over, and there were broken limbs all over the place. Looking at it from a distance, it seems that there are several familiar figures. Raoji, the head of the Rao family. Su Pu, the leader of the Dragon Head Gang. And Zudge. It's all dead. Could it be that the great patriotic army went back on its word? Zhou Ba frowned deeply at this time. Seeing their bodies, he didn't think that the rebels were being sniped at the city gate. I just simply thought that maybe it was the army of the Wei who killed the donkey after entering the city. Dad. This way. You just came here. The battle is over. Zhou Kaishan ran over with excitement on his face. Zhou Ba's body trembled, his eyes instantly turned red. Son, my son is not dead yet. Very nice. The battle, is it already set? Zhou Ba sighed, feeling like he had missed 100 million. Well, it's all set. Zhou Kaishan nodded, still with a smile on his face. Zhou Ba patted Zhou Kaishan on the shoulder, still young. Teenagers don't know the taste of sorrow. The great patriotic army has already entered the city, so optimistic. I saw Raoji's corpses just now, is it Wei? Oh, you said Raoji and the others. These idiots are still trying to capture the city gate and welcome the army of Wei Guo to come in. They were slaughtered by my boss. Well, they are still chasing them now. Zhou Kaishan pouted indifferently, and pointed at him. There was a yellow turban commander over there who was chasing and killing several rebels. Your boss? Fang Fan? The city lord is back. Zhou Ba swallowed his saliva, his body trembled suddenly, his little heart began to heave violently, and his expression became flushed. Yeah, just came back. My boss has torn dozens of blockades of the Wei Guo army and rushed back. He. Wei Guo's gang of bastards were slaughtered by my boss. Dad, you didn't watch it? A hole was made in the middle. Their central army was originally in the middle, but they were forced to evacuate in the end. It's gone. Zhou Kaishan rubbed his hands. The more he talked, the more excited he became. Compared to Zhou Kaishan's excitement, Zhou Ba's little heart thumped even more. The city owner, how many people did your eldest brother bring back this time? Which foreign aid did you get? It's so powerful. Zhou Ba knocked sideways and said. Well, there's no foreign aid. Just brought the few legions under his hands, the Demon Legion, Yellow Turban Commander Legion or something. Well, Dad, I won't tell you, I'm going to slaughter the rebels too. Zhou Kaishan waved his hand and watched the 1.8-meter machete rush past. Zhou Ba clutched his chest and took a few steps back tremblingly. Sai Wen loses his horse and knows it's not a blessing. The ancients do not deceive me. If I didn't hesitate for a while, I might have died on the street like Raoji, Su Pu, and the others. Fang Fan, so powerful. In troubled times, there will be evil spirits. I have a good son. Zhou Ba supported the wall to soothe his excitement. Patriarch, are we going out of the city now? The Zhou family members on the side came over and asked about the next arrangement. Out of the city? What are you doing out of the city now? When the lord of the city didn't return, I wanted to go out of the city and fight with the Wei Guo army to the end. Guard Zhongchen with this. Now that the lord of the city has returned, all listen to the orders of the lord of the city. Zhou Ba's face was upright, but he didn't have the trembling and frightened look he had before. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 147. There was a big chill inside Zhongcheng, and outside Zhongcheng, in the Weiguo military camp, it was quite uneasy at the moment. Wei Sun escaped with Wei Ming, and it was also a storm at this moment. Has that team checked out? Whose army is it? How dare you be so arrogant? Wei Sun's appearance is calm and composed, but his heart has already been churning. The combat effectiveness of this army made him shudder. The country lord, it is the army under the command of Fang Fan, the lord of Zhongcheng. According to the information, he led his army to Shuyang city before, and just returned. The intelligence officer said in horror, the situation is not calm now, the lord is in a rage, and now to report the information, he really tied his head to the belt of his trousers. Fang Fan? It's really him. I thought I was high enough to see him. I didn't expect to be stronger than I thought. Young hero. Wei Sun sighed secretly. He opened the Legion combat power list and saw that Fang Fan was the commander of 4 legions in the top 5 of the Legion combat power list. Suddenly he was a little discouraged. 4 4-star legions, it is not surprising. Among the legions under his command, not to mention the 4-star legion, even the 3-star legion, there are 3 or 2 big cats and kittens. And every level of the legion, the difference in combat power is huge. Father, we shouldn't retire. What if it's Fang Fan? We were able to gather the army and besiege them to death just now. We lost a great opportunity. Wei Ming, who was on the side, sighed with a sigh of relief. Obviously, he had the iron-headed attribute. He wished he could go up and have a fight with Fang Fan now. Humph. The bravery of a man. Order all patriotic troops to suspend their attack. Besiege without attacking. Wei Sun gave Wei Ming a vicious look. If it wasn't for his own son, he would have slapped him and slapped him. If we don't retreat just now, we'll all get cold. The 1,000 elite National Guards are cold. Do you think you can beat the 4-star awakened Fang Fan or the 4-4-star legions under his command? What they occupy is high-end combat power. Then catch you off guard. If you are caught off guard, the heart of the army will be dissipated. Continue to fight. It is impossible to say that the entire army will collapse. Father, now, just besiege here? You know that Zhongcheng is not short of food right now, so it makes no sense for us to besiege the city. On the contrary, we don't have much food and grass now. If we don't end the battle in time, we will all starve to death. Wei Ming turned his head away, looking a little angry and annoyed. Wei Sun frowned, looking a little worried. Although Wei Ming's words are not pleasing to the ears, it is true. Don't end the battle as soon as possible, I'm afraid there will be a big problem. Father, after all, they are few. We were caught off guard because we were not prepared. Now we are fully prepared. If we continue to attack the city, within a day or two, we will definitely be able to take Zhongcheng. At that time, not only will I be ashamed, but I will also be able to take back the food in our Acropolis granary. More importantly, I heard that Fang Fan himself also opened a card shop. He started with this card shop. If we can capture this card shop, we can also capture countless cards. At that time, we will also be able to train all our legions to the highest level. Father, don't come again when you can't miss it. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 148. Wei Sun's brows were almost frowning. This is obviously a tough choice. Wei Guo's ability to develop to the current lineup is not unrelated to Wei Sun's prudence. If they were all as radical as his son Wei Ming, he would have been cold many times. But this time, is it really appropriate to be conservative? Today's Zhongcheng is like a beautiful woman who is alluring the country and the city. You can win this beauty with just a little fiddling. Only now suddenly a strong man has appeared guarding this beauty. Withdrawing our troops, the majesty of our country has been lost. And we have lost the grain of the granary of the country, the foundation of the country of defending the country is gone. But if you continue to attack, it will inevitably collide with Fang Fan's elite army. The 4-4-star legions are powerful, but after all, there are not many. After all, they are, also mortals. There will always be moments of fatigue. Then now, it's our time to rise. Ming'er is right, Zhongcheng has too much at stake. Wei Sun breathed a sigh of relief, and the palms of his hands were already sweating. The offense is okay, but change the strategy of the offense. There is only one city gate in the inner city of Zhongcheng, but it does not have to be attacked from the city gate. Order the army to split into 4. Attack from all sides. I don't believe it anymore. Our army of hundreds of thousands of defenders can still be smashed into the sand. Wei Sun said righteously, after all, the desire for profit took the upper hand. At this moment, he suddenly felt extraordinarily sober. Zhongcheng. After a series of tragic battles, today's Zhongcheng looks a bit desolate. The streets and the city walls were littered with corpses and bloodstains. Too many people died in this war. Outside the city, the sound of the drums of the enemy continued to sound, and it was obvious that the next war was coming. All survivors who participated in the war will each be rewarded with 1 serum card and 3 healing cards. The deceased, give priority to relatives. Survivors in the city, all those who participate in the expedition will be rewarded. Rebels, all the chiefs will be killed. The rest will be incorporated into the city guards to guard the city wall. Patriarch Zhao, this Zhongcheng defense battle is all thanks to you. Fang Fan walked over and said respectfully to Zhao Zhen, the head of the Zhao family. Some things are seen in the eyes and remembered in the heart. In this battle, more than half of the Zhao family's elites were damaged. In the Zhongcheng defense battle, in addition to the zombie army led by Ada, the Zhao family's troops were the most powerful. Of course, Patriarch Zhou also contributed a lot. Zhou Kaishan is my brother, there is no doubt about it. I hope that the Patriarch of Zhou Ba can be proud of this. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes and glanced at Zhou Ba. Zhou Ba's body trembled suddenly. He felt that Fang Fan's eyes seemed to be able to see through all his thoughts, and his whole body trembled with anxiety. His previous sense of luck was gone. Who is Fang Fan? How could such a clever person be easily deceived? Not to mention anything else from their Zhou family, the battle damage alone is not as good as 1/3 of the Zhao family. This is pretty telling. In addition, he finally took the elites of the Zhou family to the gate of the city. Although he fell off the cliff and did not make a big mistake, how could these be concealed from Fang Fan? It's just that sometimes there are things he doesn't want to do too much. Especially this Zhou Ba is also Zhou Kaishan's father. In any case, Zhou Kaishan made outstanding contributions in the Zhongcheng defense battle. And although Zhou Ba was a little careful, he still hadn't put it into action. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 149. After returning to the card shop, Fang Fan took the sales commission of the card shop in the past few days. After being promoted to become a second-tier supplier, Fang Fan felt very sour with a 20% commission, and his income was twice as much as before. The war is far from over, and the army of Wei Guo is still on the offensive. Although the previous attack was tragic, most of the attacks only focused on the West City Gate. After all, compared to the inner city of Zhongcheng, there is only this gate. It's easier to attack from here. But things are different now. The crazy Great Patriotic Army seems to want to launch their revenge. They chose to launch an all-out attack from the four walls. Without missing a dead end, this tragic war caused Zhongcheng to suffer a severe blow. It turned out that the Zhongcheng army, whose morale had soared because of Fang Fan's return, gradually became sluggish. All four walls are in urgent need of reinforcements. The zombie army with more than half of the casualties was pulled out again, but the current zombie army has less than 5,000 zombies. The elites of various large and small families and gangs were gathered, barely enough to make up an army of tens of thousands of survivors. Right now, he can still insist on guarding, but everyone can see that this is forcibly supporting. At this moment, there is a guest in the Zhongcheng City Lord's mansion. I am the messenger of the Li family, and I represent the will of the Lord of Tang. Our Lord is a person who cherishes talents. As long as you are willing to surrender to the Li family and the Tang state, you will be able to obtain the support of the Tang state. At that time, the Wei family will not be able to cause any harm to you. This guest is the envoy of Tang from the far north, and when he exits, he is majestic. Can you Tanguo be able to surpass Wei Guo? Fang Fan sat on the high seat of the city lord's mansion, and a metaphorical smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. He, Wei Guo is too weak in front of my Tang country. Your Excellency is the first existence to become the lord of the Huajing city, and our Tang kingdom is also the first Ho kingdom established in the Huajing. To tell you the truth, our Tang kingdom will soon be promoted from Ho kingdom to principality. The basic condition for establishing a dukedom is to occupy 3 or more medium-sized, large, cities, while to establish a duchy, you need to occupy 10 medium-sized, large, cities. Now, do you know the national strength of our Tang country? Submit to the Tang kingdom, and you can survive in Zhongcheng. Contribute to the card shop in your hand. Tell the secrets of the card shop, tell them all, you can still be the city owner of Zhongcheng in the future, and even have a high position in the Tang kingdom. The messenger Han Song is a middle-aged man without a beard, but his hair is very thick, and he always feels feminine when he speaks. Oh! It looks like I have no other way out. I really want to know, if I refuse, what will you Tang Kuahui do? Besides, I'm curious. This city of Zhongcheng has been surrounded by the Weiguo army, so how did you get in? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, and it didn't look like there was any change in appearance. He, I entered Zhongcheng easily. Because I learned the art of earth escape. As for rejecting the Tang kingdom, then your Zhongcheng is destined to be destroyed. Tang Kuahui and Weiguo temporarily formed an alliance, and then attacked Zhongcheng together and divided up Zhongcheng. You are still tied up in dealing with the Wei country. I don't think you have the capital to offend us. If you are smart enough, you should know how to choose. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 150. In the empty hall, the voice of Tang envoy Han Song was sharp and harsh. Fang Fan blinked. Does he feel so good about himself? Want my city, still want my shop. The dog system had previously released him a task of holding power. It was to let him occupy Zhongcheng and control the power of Zhongcheng to ensure the normal operation of the card shop. At the time, Fang Fan sneered, but now it seems that this devastation of the end times really needs these. Without strong enough authority, even living is a sin. In an era of chaos, where can there be order? So, I refuse. Tell you the mighty king of Tang, if he wants to fight, then fight. I'll kill Weiguo first, and then I'll clean up you guys. Zhongcheng will never fall. Fang Fan stood up, although his tone was flat, but the feeling of full of confidence made everyone's eyes change instantly. Zhao Zhen and Zhou Bie, who were standing on both sides, also looked at Fang Fan with stunned eyes. They looked at each other, although they didn't speak, but the following thoughts emerged in their hearts at the same time. This is not a lunatic, that is a world-shattering hero. The messenger Han Song's face sank, and he felt absolutely confident in this trip. He really didn't understand what kind of capital Fang Fan had that was worth his arrogance. How many legions under his command can fight and resist? Is it realistic? Although he has the most elite legion, but the number is limited after all. Dozens of strong men may be able to slaughter 10,000 elite soldiers, but after slaughtering 10,000, they will be tired too. They also need to rest. And outside the city, there are hundreds of thousands of troops defending the country. Even if it is consumed, it also consumes energy to the death of Zhongcheng. You are killing yourself. You never know the power of Tang. Even Wei can be slaughtered at will. A sneer appeared on Han Song's face, and his eyes flickered. I can make sure that if you refuse Tang's invitation, you will surely die without a place to be buried. All that you have will eventually come to nothing. Before the apocalypse, you were just an ordinary person. Are you really willing to throw away the glory you have gained in the apocalypse? Wait until that day, I may see your head fall. Snapped. A loud slap sounded. Fang Fan rubbed his arms impatiently. Get out of here before I change my mind. I don't really care about killing the messenger. It's just that I need you to go back and report to the king of Tang, right? So I won't kill you. Fang Fan's face showed fearlessness. Han Song had an unbelievable look on his face. He was slapped in the face. Who is he? He is the envoy of Tang country. Standing behind him is the entire Tang kingdom. How crazy is this guy? You are dead. You dare to hit me. I promise, you will be cut to death by 1,000 swords. Your family, your friends, everything, will die because of you. I'll let them suffer and die. Han Song's face was ferocious, and he stretched out his right hand and waved it fiercely in front of Fang Fan. Boom. Click. Oh. Fang Fan blew at the muzzle of the laser pistol, and just shot Han Song's waving right arm off. It's okay to talk nonsense, but to threaten his relatives and friends, that's killing him. It should be taught a lesson.